Without priorities, we often find that our time is taken up with the things which we don't actually find important in our lives.
Pana also includes juice from any fruit, whose size is not larger than the drinker's own fist.
On the other hand, in reality, meditation concerns much on practice.
In 100 people, we have around 20 Australian people to come to join us.
Bata pian is made out of the coconut leaf. So, you take the coconut leaf and cut it.
Sawadee-ka. Welcome to another edition of Meditation for All, a program which aims to promote an understanding of meditation and Buddhism. I am Sunanpan Rotjan and I will be guiding you through the program. Last time you have learned of some of the unique challenges you might face on your path to self-development. And to sum things up a little, three main things that you need to do are to develop a vision, to integrate the practice of meditation into your daily lives and commit to it, and to find effective channels to communicate the benefits of meditation and self-development to those around you. This time on our mini-series on meditation and self-development, Venerable Nicholas will address the issue of change, what to change, your readiness to change, and what qualities you should possess in order to change for the better.
Welcome back to our mini-series on meditation and self-development. Last week we've already looked at some of the unique challenges which we need to face up to when using meditation for self-development. Last time we mentioned that there are three major challenges which we need to face, and these are developing vision, integration and commitment to practice, and last but not least, effective channels of communication. This week, under the subject of vision, we're going to be looking at some of the wisdom from the old AA Serenity Prayer, which goes, accept the things we cannot change, have the courage to change the things we can, and to have the wisdom to know the difference. Today we're looking at the first of the challenges, which is developing vision. You may wonder why vision is so important. Well, vision is important because it gives us aim, direction, and momentum which we need to go forward in our self-development. It allows us to set our priorities. Without priorities, we often find that our time is taken up with the things which we don't actually find important in our lives. Many people, perhaps the majority of people, see their lives as nothing more than a stage on which they play their chosen role. They think that all life offers is a way of choice about how colorful they make their lives or how colorfully they play their role. But what we're talking about in terms of self-development is not just changing our role. It may be even changing the backdrop or even the stage on which we play. Those who lack vision in life may think that life is only of value when we are young and healthy and independent. And many things like the euthanasia movement have grown up amongst those who don't see life as important for the whole of our life, as a whole of a cycle of living and dying, which are an opportunity for us to develop ourselves for the better. Thus, simply having vision can change a lot of things in our lives. Perhaps one of the most spectacular changes in history which has come about as a result of vision was the development of aviation in the world. In fact, aviation is something which started as a result of the work of Mr. Wilbur and Mr. Wright, who started with a vision or a dream which was not like that of other men. They had a dream that one day they would be able to make steel float in the air. Normally, steel is a very heavy metal, and it's unlikely that it could float in the air all of its own accord. But because they had this vision that one day steel could float in the air, then they started to look for a means by which they could make it do that. And the result of their dream, or their vision, was that one day they were able to develop the first aeroplane, made of steel of course, which was able to float in the air until now in the present day we take aviation for granted as a thing which is automatically available to everyone in the world, where we can float seemingly miraculously from one place to another in the world without any real difficulty anymore. But if you see what that started with, it started with the vision of just two men. So how can we know whether we are ready to go forward or whether we ought to be spending more time being patient about the things in the world which we're not yet ready to change? In order for this to be the case, we need to know more about where we stand, because in fact there are 4 different sorts of people in the world. The first category of people are those who are blind. This means that people who have no vision, who don't wish to see anything more of what is wrong with themselves or with their lives. The second group is the group of outsiders, which are those who have vision to see what is wrong with themselves or with the world, but they don't dare to do anything about it. They may even come to the point where they are suicidal because they don't know what to do about it. They don't see life as or its value in the opportunity to make changes, and rather they have a cowardly view of life. They are unwilling to live up to the vision which they have or the knowledge which they have perceived of the world around them. The third group is the group of those who are in despair. Again, they have the vision to see what is wrong with themselves or with life, but when they try to change things and they meet with lack of success, then this may make them give up their good intentions which they had in the beginning to develop themselves or the work, to develop themselves or to change the world for the better. In fact, suicide is rather a foolish phenomenon. For those who are thinking of suicide, perhaps try listening to these 2 cases of suicide which did lead people to have a clearer view of life. There was the first man who came to a monk, and he said that he was going to commit suicide and whether the monk had any final advice for him. The monk said, well, if you really want to commit suicide, then why don't you try meditating to the death? It's more cheap than buying a gun or wasting bullets on yourself. So the man did what he said, and he went and sat in the temple, and he didn't move from his meditation with a very strong will in the beginning that he was going to meditate to the death. But after 15 minutes he started to feel aches and pains from his meditation. After half an hour it became intolerable. And after only 3/4 of an hour he realized that, in fact, even if he couldn't bear the pain of his knees anymore, then certainly bearing the pain of killing himself would be much worse indeed. So from that time onwards, he started to have a much more realistic view of how to make improvements in his life. A second man who came to a monk asking for advice about his wish to commit suicide was given a special medicine by the monk. He asked the monk whether there was any suicide pills which the monk could give him. So instead of giving him arsenic, the monk gave him 2 laxative pills. And before long the laxative pills gave their proper effect, meaning that the man found himself running very quickly to the nearest toilet. And when this happened, from the visit to the restrooms on that occasion, he found that much of the tension which had originally caused him to want to commit suicide in the first place was released, and he could think more closely about life. So from these 2 examples we can see that in fact suicide is a very negative emotion, and if we can find a more constructive way out of this, to actually face up to the realities of life instead of running away from it, then in fact we will have many more inspirations which may lead us towards self-development in the end. The last of the 4 categories of people are the self-developers themselves. Again, these are people who have the correct vision about the world, how to change it for the better, how to change themselves for the better. But unlike those who are possibly despairers, they are those who set about changing themselves and changing the world in a way which is going to meet with success. The key to success in this respect is knowing what to change and what to tolerate, at least for as long as you are unable to make significant changes to those things. And the key to knowing the difference between the two is to know exactly what potential you have to change things in the world. You should start to deal with the things which you are certain you're going to be able to cope with in the beginning. Because it's no use jumping in the water to save a drowning man if you can't swim yourself. You need to know your own potential. So exactly what are the sorts of potential which we're talking about if we are going to measure ourselves up to the sort of situations which we meet in life, so that we know what to tackle and what to leave for later? Well, there are 6 qualities which are qualities which run deeper than the sort of things which we see when we look in the mirror. Normally when we look in the mirror, we see only how handsome we are, how tall or short, or the color of our hair. We don't look very deeply at the real nature of ourselves. But if you listen to the following 6 qualities, then when you next look at yourself in the mirror, you will be able to have a deeper insight into the real nature of yourself and the potential of yourself to change yourself and the world for the better. The first quality which you should measure yourself in terms of is inspiration. You need to believe in what you're doing. If you are involved in self-development, then you need to believe in the self-development which you've set out on. You can know just how committed you are, especially, for example, if you listen to the inspiring talk on this Meditation for All program. Maybe this evening you'll be inspired to meditate with a straight back for a whole hour. But the next day you will find yourself less inspired, maybe with a few excuses, maybe meditating for only half an hour instead of 1 hour. The next day maybe you find the time is reduced to 15 minutes, or maybe you start thinking to yourself that, well, you were meditated for an hour and a half over the last 2 days, so if you average it out, that's already 20 minutes a day. And by the end of the week, the next time which you come to the Meditation for All program, maybe you found that you're too lazy to meditate at all, or you can't even remember the technique for meditation anymore. This would be an example of a person whose inspiration is not yet very firmly established in their mind. However, those who have true inspiration will be able to keep up their efforts the whole of the time. The second quality which you should look at is the strength of your own precepts. By precepts we mean the ability to abstain from actions which are taking advantage of other people or ourselves, especially the weaknesses in ourselves or others. If you ask yourself the sort of person who you would want to share your apartment with, then you get a very clear answer to exactly the sort of person who you should try to be yourself. If you find that you're the sort of person who succumbs very easily to taking advantage of other people's weaknesses, then this would mean to say that your own precepts are not yet very strong. They're not yet strong enough to deal with many of the sort of problems of self-development which you would meet in the course of this spiritual path. The third thing which you should look at yourself in terms of is your level of experience. The more experience you have, the better. It means that there are less things which you will confront in life which are going to take you by surprise. So if you have experience, then this is the second level of knowledge which we were talking about last week, which can help us to go further in our pathway of self-development. The fourth thing which we should measure ourselves in terms of is our level of generosity. If we are generous, then we are more easily able to let go of things, we're more easily able to share things with others. If you are thinking to change the world and you're still a stingy person, then you have less to share with the world than those who are generous. So if you know that you're weak on generosity, then you should try to be more generous in order to make up for it. The fifth thing which you should measure yourself in terms of is your level of wisdom. Wisdom is the level of our own spiritual knowledge and the common sense when we come to dealing with spiritual matters. It's more than just education, it's more than just experience, but it comes from the degree to which we have made progress in our own meditation. And last but not least, we can talk about ourselves, measure ourselves in terms of our level of quick-wittedness. If we are quick-witted, then we can think on our feet. We don't need to prepare ourselves when we are coming across challenging situations. For a person who can give a talk which is off the top of their head, then of course they are able to do a lot more to to change society or to do positive things for the world than a person who has to prepare everything on paper beforehand. And last but not least, this is an additional one from myself, is that you need to know the level of your own health. If you are really going to be going for it in terms of self-development, then you need to have a healthy constitution to be able to stand up to the physical stresses and strains of going at this project of self-development in a continuous and a consistent way. Apart from defining yourself in terms of these 6 qualities, you also need to be a person who meditates at least once a day, because it will help you to examine your own weaknesses and to know accurately which of the 6 qualities we have just talked about are qualities which you need to improve upon for yourself. If you find that you cannot change things because of your lack of these 6 qualities, then you do have to be patient about the things which you cannot yet change. It's better to be patient than to be a person who despairs because of tackling things in the wrong order. And in this case, we mean patience in the face of physical hardship, patience in the face of suffering like diseases or illnesses, patience in the face of conflict, where we have to be patient about things which would otherwise cause conflict to others, patience in the face of temptation, and also sensitivity towards self-development or being able to accept the criticism of others. These are 5 aspects of patience which we need to learn for as long as we do not have the personal strength to deal with things which need improvement in our own character or in the world around us. So today we've looked at the 6 qualities which can help to make the difference between what we tackle when we are on the path of self-development and the things which we are going to have to be patient about until we do develop those strengths. Perhaps a good idea for you this week is to stick a list of these 6 factors by the side of the mirror which you look in when you are combing your hair every day. In that way, when you look in the mirror next time round, instead of just seeing how tall or how short you are, you will start to look at yourself on a deeper level to see how ready you are to face up to the challenges of self-development. You will start to know which things you can tackle and which things which you're going to have to set aside for later in the path of self-development. So in the meantime, keep up your daily meditation, and I'll be seeing you again next week for some more of the challenges of self-development.
Next on Buddhist culture, you will get to know Panna, or refreshments, a little more. How Panna came to be, how the Pannas of today differ from those of the past, and what constitutes a Panna. You will also get to see the making of some of the most popular Pannas.
Panna, or refreshment in various forms, is important for suppressing thirstiness and for restoring the energy of monks. According to the Lord Buddha, Panna allowed are milk and other products made from milk, soybean milk, cacao, Panna also includes juice from any fruit whose size is not larger than the drinker's own fist. For example, limes, oranges, small-sized guavas. The juice is commonly made by wringing out the cloth used to filter the juice with scrupulously clean hands to extract all the liquid. What is important is that the juice must not carry any pulp whatsoever. Panna could also be made from dehydrated fruits, such as dried monkey apple, dried lychee, dried longan, or bell fruit. Even though some bell fruits are excessive in their size, bell fruit is interpreted as an herb because of its medicinal properties, and thus could be used to make panna. This also applies to fresh and dried ginger. Sugar is allowed to be added to give a sweet flavor as preferred. Last but not least is natural honey. Honey is used as a drink at any time of the day for its medicinal qualities. Sometimes, honey is deliberately put into other forms of panna for such additional values. All these panna are prepared by competent laymen, laywomen, or novices who know what should be served and at what time. Afternoon and night are the times when panna is normally served, but it could also be called for at any time to quickly restore energy or lost voices. Panna should be prepared according to each individual's needs.
The sense of contentment is key to attaining happiness. Bodily health, mental wealth, compassion, and good friends are all factors that help promote happiness. Contentment will determine the outcome of our relations to all these factors. Meditation helps to train your mind to be content with whatever state it achieves. At the end of the day, you'll find yourself enjoying what life has to offer. Now, let us all sit and practice meditation with Venerable Somsak Biyasilo together.
It is very nice to meet you again. Welcome everyone to the program Meditation for All. We have arrived at part 2 of the program. Before continuing further about meditation, it would be nice also to make a little revision of the basic. And from the previous 10 classes we enjoyed together, I hope you practice meditation with your own self and also gain some inner peace or the fruits from meditation to some extent. As I have told you earlier, meditation is not a matter of talking, discussion, information exchange in the internet and so on. On the other hand, in reality, meditation concerns much on practice, and practice makes perfect. If you need some inner peace, the only way to do is to practice meditation. And also, meditation is not concerning the duration of patience. It is not a good idea to sit for a long time in order to count for minutes and hours of practice. You might sit for only 15 minutes, but in complete relaxation, you gain a lot. But if you sit for an hour without relaxation, it is a kind of a waste of time. About sitting position or posture, the best way to sit is to sit cross-legged or in lotus posture. But in reality, you can sit at home on the chair with the pillow supporting your bottom, or you can sit on the cushion or anywhere as long as you feel extremely comfortable. And remember, a lukewarm glass of water is a good idea to drink. It's a good drink before you meditate. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are ready, let's start meditation. Just close the eyes softly. The way we close the eyes softly, we don't squeeze the eyelids. Just let them be about to be closed. And then relax. Relax the entire body from head down to heels. Relax as if the body is flooded by the stream of relaxation. Not even a single part of the body that is not relaxed. Remember the turning point we have talked for many times. Observe the turning point by taking a good deep breath. Follow the in-breath until we reach the turning point inside the stomach. The turning point is the station of peace. It is where the in-breath turns out-breath. Let's observe the turning point again. Take a deep breath, follow the in-breath down to the stomach. At the far end of the in-breath, that is the turning point. This is called the station of peace because every time the mind focuses here, the mind gains inner peace. So we confirm this point as another name, the station of peace. Remain peaceful at the station of peace for a little while together. Relax further, like we are sitting in the nature, surrounded by the green, alongside the stream that murmurs again and again as the stream passes by. We get absorbed by the fresh of the nature. Let all the molecules get absorbed by the freshness of the nature. Remain really extremely relaxed. Relaxation continues while the mind stays so still at the station of peace. The center of the body is the same point as the station of peace. The center of the body is the tiniest point in the center of the stomach. By staying still at this turning point, the mind stays also at the center of the body. Stay at the center of the body in peace for a little moment. And then gradually the body would turn lighter, would become weightless, lighter and weightless, until gradually and finally the soft body could turn transparent. Transparency means the body could blend so well with the surroundings, blend well with the fresh of the nature. Meanwhile, the mind stays still always at the turning point. The body blends so well with the nature. Be one with the nature. Blend well with the fresh of everything around. And let's share this inner peace to the world. The mind that is in peace, at peace, can radiate endlessly. It is like the center of the body can expand. It is, in other words, it is radiating in all directions. Let's share inner peace by means of radiation to the world. Expand endlessly to the world. Session 1 of Part 2 is about to end, and if we feel ready, we gradually open up. Slowly be kind in this process. As you can see to yourself and prove to yourself that every time you allow the mind to stay at the station of peace, you gain inner peace. So the only way, ladies and gentlemen, to gain peace is to put meditation into practice. Remember, meditation is the matter of practice, and you should do it every day at your convenience. And hope you enjoy meditation and practice it until we meet next time. Don't search for peace outside. Peace is just inside you, and meditation is just the key. Until we meet next time. Hope you success in meditation. Goodbye.
Coming up, Nini Gevelin will introduce us to Ken and Penny from Australia, who will share with us the success story of 4 meditation centers down under. 1 in Sydney, 1 in Melbourne, 1 in Brisbane, and 1 in Perth. We also learn how they've become active in teaching meditation to the locals, most of whom are without any religious affiliations, starting with the kids at school, getting the parents involved, and encouraging them to keep the precepts.
สวัสดีค่ะ Hello, thank you for joining us today with our special program for Meditation for All. My name is Nini Keverin. With me today is Mr. Kitkan Tipkeo and his wife, Miss Piyawan Tipkeo. Welcome to the special program today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming today, and also, if I may call you Mr. Kitkan, you also using the name Ken,
Yes.
and also Miss Piyawan, you use the name Penny.
Yep.
So I would call you by those names, okay?
Thank you. Yes.
Anyway, you from what country you come from?
Australia?
Australia?
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you lived there?
About 11 years.
About 11 years.
Yeah.
You work over there, right?
Yep.
You
Yes.
guys work over
Yes,
there,
we work
okay.
over there.
And then, well, first of all, the reason that we meet today, because I heard such a great story about both of you. Okay, I heard so inspiration, a story about what you have done for our temple, and incredible job that you're doing in Australia, which
Thank you.
is incredible that for you to, use your time and energy to input into those kind of work, which is not an easy to do, especially different country, different culture, and different belief. Okay. Anyway, tell me a little bit background about when did you go to Australia, or how did you meet our temple for the first time?
For me, I've been to the temple in Wat Pathamakai, Pathum Thani. It's about 20 years ago. When I was young, I came to the temple with my mom,
Okay.
and to learn how to do the meditation. And also I work as the volunteer for the temple as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so it seemed like I going up in this temple by I know how to work, and I know how to be the good people.
So you know what? Actually, just like Luang Po always said,
Yes.
the parent is a great role model for their kids,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
See, because so you kind of like follow what their footsteps, what they're teaching you.
Yes.
So you learn from those experience, and that's why make you great today.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyway, so then after that, what happened?
Because our dad and our mom have to go to work in Australia,
Yes.
especially in Queensland, and that's why we have to follow them to go over there, because they work there and they would like us to. They would like me to go there first to be close to them, and then when we go there and for our meditation, that's what I thought is going to be really benefit to the people in Australia, and that's why I would like to, tell the people meditation is easy for them.
Great. So, in fact, you guys joined the temple when you were younger.
Yes.
Yes.
Before
yes.
you go to
Yeah,
Australia.
Australia,
So it's kind of like you built the foundation already about knowing what to do
Yes,
as
yes,
a
yes.
volunteer for the
Yes,
temple.
for the
Yeah.
So you know exactly, and because you understand how wonderful it is to learn
Yes.
how to meditation
We
anyway,
know
right?
that like the meditation is very important for everyone, and it's a good to practice because I have been learning it when I was very young, and I know it's a very good for everyone. If you know how to do the meditate, you will know how you got the power of mind, because a lot of people they don't know, and they never use the power in their mind. So I feel like if we can explain this thing to
Wow.
the people in the world, they will know how to use it. And that's very important for us and our aim when we go to Australia.
That is so nice. You know, that is to me is more than volunteer work. Because you know what, you have the love for people around the world.
Yeah.
You do not just doing it just for your family or someone that you know. See, so that's a very kind heart, and I commend you for that.
Thank you.
very
Yes,
much.
that is so wonderful. Just for the thought that you want to. You
Yeah.
know, that is so amazing, and I hope that everyone that hear what they both thinking and wanting to do it, so hopefully inspire other people to do the same thing. Anyway, so then you went to Australia first.
Me.
Oh, you
Yeah,
did. Okay,
me.
Ken, so you did. So tell me, so when you get to Australia, what did you do then?
First thing, because we work as a chef in the restaurant,
Yes.
and that's why I have to work in the car to support our life first. But after that, because we love meditation so much, I would like to get my father and mother to know about meditation is good for them as well. That's what because that 10 years ago we didn't have a DMC like this all the time.
yes,
We
right.
we translate by phone line.
Right, that's the first time.
Phone line is the first
yes.
time. That's why we learn from that from Luang Por, from the
okay.
phone line first,
Okay.
and after that we just improve by
From the internet.
internet
yes,
and then go
computer,
to computer,
so
thing
forth.
like that.
Oh, wow,
But
that's good.
but that's what we start from the phone line. But after that we invite the people to come to our home, and then we invite the monks from the temple, and then we tell them how to.
So the monk can guide and teach
Yes,
them
yes.
how to do meditation.
Yes,
right.
yes.
So how the people, the local people, which is Australian people, how did they
For the-
respond to that?
For the Thai people, they love it. They feel like they come back home
Right.
and they do the merit.
Oh,
they
that's
really
nice.
like it.
But then again, you have to have little complicated too to explain to those people because
Yes.
religious.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
what kind of religious that they
In
have over there?
Australia, most of people they not religious.
Oh, not
they not
religious
believe
at all.
anything.
Okay.
And the second one, they believe in the Christ and the
Oh,
Christ.
okay.
But I mean, it's a good thing for us to explain to the people they not believe anything, because we try to present our meditation to be it's not about the religious. It's
That's
about
good.
you relax and you know how to make your mind to be powerful and how you use it in the right way. So it's easy for us to teach them.
Right.
And I mean, the simple thing is about the meditation. When the people they start to do the first time,
Right.
they will find out it's a good way to do and relax. In the
Yes.
first time when we go to the Sydney center, on that time we just have the center, the new one in the Sydney, and even now we got about 4 branch. We got in Melbourne, in Perth, in Brisbane, and in Sydney. But the first time in Sydney is a very good start for us to try to expand our meditation class.
Right.
And I have the good experience because I go to the school, and in the school they got one of the subject they give you to teach the kid, and
Oh,
kid
okay.
can choose which the religious they like to learn, and it got about 40 kids, and most of them are Australian people. They doesn't have like a half Asian or whatever, but they got like pure Australian, and they don't have anything to know about the Buddhist at all. And on the first time we teach them what is the Buddhist is and what is meditation is. And on that time when you teach to the kid
Right.
will tell the parents what
Right.
happened. And after then I find out the parents and the kid, they come to the class and they start together.
See?
So it's a good, I
Okay.
mean, it's a very, very good opportunity to do it. And they got very good experience in meditation, and we teach them how to do the 5 precepts. And now their parents, they accept, because everyone know the 5 precepts is simple thing in your life, and everyone can do it. But some of them they not accept, like you can't drink alcohol. But after then you explain to them, they will accept it and say, okay, you teach them in the good thing. So that's why on that time we can bring their parents to join us too.
Right.
So I think it's in the Australia for us. It's very good opportunity.
So what you're doing, like I said, is such a great thing, because you know why? It's not easy at all, because to me, I came from USA also, and you know, our temple already expand when I joined them, so my job is not as difficult. So for you to start from the beginning and willingly to keep going and continue to make it success, you know, that is, you know, a lot of good deed and wonderful deed that you're doing.
Thank you.
It takes time. It takes time. And another thing is really good luck for us as well, because Australia is multicultural country, and they're quite open for everyone. We just explain to them what is benefit, and they'll quite understand.
Wow.
But if we start something like our program, we should start from meditation,
right?
Because meditations keep them to come to thought about themselves, and then what is benefit to them, they're quite happy to join with us.
So then right now we do have, I know that we have 4 of them, but the 2 major ones that you guys around there, which is one is in the Brisbane, did I say it right? And the other one is in Sydney.
Sydney, yes.
The Sydney is the one that is more like kind of like a Panawat, what we had here.
Yeah,
oh,
they got the
beautiful.
Meditation retreat. Yes.
Oh, that's great. Do we have to pay anything to get to go there or anything at all?
Yes, because the first time we thought you don't have to pay anything, but the thing is, they said if you don't pay anything, sometimes they said, also for free, it might be you don't got any benefit. We let them to pay something like $20-$30, but after that we give them free food, and then all the accommodations, meditation class. They're quite happy.
Oh, that's great.
And we have like once a month.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
we have volunteers, vulnerable monks. We teach them as well, but we not force them to about religious.
Right.
We just do about meditations. What is benefit for
just to
their
like
life.
a great introduction, just to let them
Yes.
experience what we have to offer them.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
That's the power of the kindness. Yes.
Thank you.
And then also, so then how many people kind of in the way that join the group now, or constantly come to the meditation center now? About you have quite a few people now, or you have
in Sydney, yes, we have in the first Sunday of the month we have around 100 people.
Wow.
In that 100 people, we have
That's
around
good.
20 Australian people to come to join.
Oh, that's great.
And I know we have 1 or 2 people really successful of the meditations in the case study. That's Luang Por, kindness to open minds for the.
He has been mentioned to him.
Yes.
He has
that's
been mentioned
great.
to that case.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I heard that you sent one of the meditation. One person did the meditation so well, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, had a great experience.
Yes.
And you wrote
Yeah.
it to the temple.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I saw that one too
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Australia.
Yes.
Yeah. See,
Yes.
so in another word, it's kind of sharing that anybody can do meditation. Doesn't matter what kind of
Yes.
religious they have.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know, that's good.
Yes.
Okay.
Children do not necessarily need expensive toys to help them learn. In the past, Thai people used to make hanging mobiles of different shapes and sizes from coconut leaves. These handmade toys are also non-toxic. So if you would like to learn how to make one for your own use, or if you would like your children to learn how to make them to improve their skills in handicraft, then watch Rose and Amy next on Cut and Craft.
No matter which way my life turns, no matter easy or hard, I will hold on, stand strong and fight on. 'Cause we are kids of the world, can make a brighter day for all. So believe in yourself and
สวัสดีค่ะ
fight.
พี่สุภาสวัสดีค่ะพี่จินตนา
สวัสดีค่ะ
ทำอะไรกันนะคะ
ท ทำปลาตะเพียนค่ะ
doing ปลาตะเพียน Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. สวัสดีค่ะ Hi, I'm Rosalind Mipan and I will be your host on Cut and Carve. Today, we are doing a Thai traditional craft called ปลาตะเพียน Now, เริ่มทำยังไงคะ
ทำจากใบมะพร้าวค่ะ เริ่มจากนี่ค่ะเจียนใบมะพร้าวออกจากก้านมะพร้าวก่อนนะคะตัดสุดนึงค่ะ แล้วก็จะได้ใบมะพร้าว2 ใบเพื่อที่จะทำปลาตะเพียนค่ะเดี๋ยวโรสถือไว้นะคะค่ะ แล้วก็ให้เอมี่ช่วยหั่นใบมะพร้าวค่ะ
ปลาตะเพียน is made out of the coconut leaf. So, you take the coconut leaf and cut it like so. In the end, you should get 2 leaves.
ระวังนะคะใจเย็นๆค่ะ แล้วก็ระวังมีดจะบาดมือ
เท่ากันว่า ความยาว
ค่ะ
ความหนาไม่ต้องเท่ากันนะคะ
ความหนาเท่ากันค่ะ ความยาวก็เกือบจะเท่ากันแล้วค่ะค่ะทำแบบนี้ค่ะ
Now, let's go watch Peace to the Pao do the ปลาตะเพียน step by step. First step, take the coconut leaf and cut the leaf off the stem. But don't cut the stem. เท่ากันนะคะ The leaf should be the same width. The height doesn't really matter. Cut off the pointy end like so. Now, one more. Wrap it around your hand on one leaf and the other fold in half but do not crease. Put one leaf inside one hoop and out the other. Take one end and slip it through the hoops. Now, take the other end and slip it through the same hoop. You should get the first stage. Don't flatten the fish. Keep it puffy. Then it'll be a flat fish. Yeah. Take one end, fold it between 2 strands. Take the other end and slip it in. Take another end, do just like the other end, and slip it in also. This should close up the fish. Now you have 4 ends out in the open. So, make it tight and cozy. Cut the fin inward, like so. By using the fin that you cut off, you can make the tail. You can make this fish with only 1 leaf. แล้วปลาตะเพียนนี่หมายความว่าอะไรคะ
ปลาตะเพียนหมายถึงความอุดมสมบูรณ์ค่ะ
In Thai, ปลาตะเพียน also means abundance. It's a symbol of abundance in English. Put the tail on the back of the fish. You can insert in the middle or in the side. Cut the tail just like the fin. How you cut the tail and where you put it determines what kind of fish it is. Now, อันนี้ใช้
ถ้าเราต้องการทำให้มันเป็นวงลายเราก็จะใช้ก้านมะพร้าวค่ะ ที่เราเหลาไว้เมื่อสักครู่นี้
To make a mobile, you can also use the stem that you just cut off. So, you're like recycling, using all the stuff that you have. Insert the end of the stem into the fish's mouth. Make a hoop at the end of the stem, like so.
ก็จะเป็นนี่เสร็จแล้วก็จะเป็นตัวอย่างนี้ค่ะ เอมี่ก็สามารถทำได้ นี่ค่ะ
Well, that's what we have for today. ขอบคุณค่ะพี่สุรภาขอบคุณค่ะพี่จินตนา The fish can represent so many stuff.
like love
Yes, love. Love can be passed down through the fish. The mom can represent love in the fish, and she can pass it down to her kid. From generation to generation, this fish has been passed down. So, we should make one for our mom.
Yeah.
Just for childhood memories, yeah? Okay. Well, thank you, and join us next week. สวัสดีค่ะ
I believe I can see the good in you and me.
Time is running out. We hope you have enjoyed this edition of our program and obtained the necessary guidelines to jumpstart your personal development through meditation. As always, we would like to hear from you, so write to us at meditationforall@yahoo.com. Until next time, goodbye. สวัสดีค่ะ